Hello, my name is Giuseppe, and in this little video I hope to show you some of the newer features in Photoshop Elements 2023. And in this particular incident here, we'll try to go from this picture to this, adding the sky and a few overlays like that. So let's get right with it here. We'll delete that and start on this one here. The feature that we're looking for is in the guided department, so we choose guided, and it's in the special edits tab, and it's called perfect landscape. If I pass the cursor over this, you'll see the sky up here in that blah area where there was no clouds or blue sky. So we'll select perfect landscape, and the options that appear over on the right, starting with the crop tool. Alright, we'll leave the sky in there because that's where we're demonstrating mostly. Let's move the bottom up here to about there and just call that good with accepting by the green arrow. And straighten tool, if it was necessary, we could use, which it's pretty straight so we won't, but I can give you a real quick example of how that works. Take something that's flat like the top of this concrete, make a line on the top of that, and it will straighten it. If it's a little bit off, you'll see it move a little, and it did. So, and it also filled the edges where we would have normally seen blank white canvas there, but it filled in the edges automatically. So next we can move on to the remove haze. If there's any haze in there, I'll click on that, and it clarifies any haze that was in the picture. That was pretty good right there. Now we'll move on to the skies. There's such a large selection of skies to choose from. Blue sky, white clouds, multicolored sky, sunsets, darker skies, threatening skies, even clear into night skies down here. But since this has been a bright sunny day that this was taken on, we'll stick with the blue sky and white clouds. And I think probably this one right here, we'll select that and click on it. Once I click on it, Photoshop Elements goes to work doing everything in the background, and it's masking and doing everything necessary to place that sky behind all these trees. That's normally quite a job when you're selecting. Almost next to impossible, difficult one to do manually. So this has done it pretty much automatically. Next, we can move on down to the next option from the skies, which is opacity, which makes the clouds lighter and fainter and almost disappear completely. Move to that stage, and over here is where I prefer it. Brightness controls both the clouds and the sky, how bright or dark you want to go. I think we're going right about there. Okay, and the color temperature is important to match the source of the light into the foreground picture. So I'll click on that, and it makes a slight adjustment there. Okay, the move tool is pretty handy too. In case you're not satisfied with where the clouds are, you can actually move the clouds. Move up or down, and you can go clear over here till you see a corner and grab the tab and even make it larger or smaller. So that's a nice feature. And place the clouds where you like them. So we'll leave them like they are. Moving on to the shift edge. Had there been a lot of ghosting or fringing around the leaves, this shift edge would help to eliminate that. Maybe I can accent if I move clear to the left. I was hoping that would show more, but this is a pretty good job here either way. So we're lucky we didn't get a lot of fringing, but the fringing or ghosting occurs sometimes when you place a background behind leaves, and they can get kind of a ghostly effect around the edges of the trees. Okay, refine edge is not necessary since we don't have those ghosting effects, where if we did, we could try to eliminate some of that. Anyway, we got the spot healing brush, and you can either change the brush size down here with the slider, or, as I prefer, using the bracket keys, the left and right bracket keys, just on the right of the letter P on your keyboard. The right bracket key makes the larger circle or cursor, and the left, of course, reduces it. I'll make a nice small one here and eliminate this little branch just to demonstrate what the spot healing brush does right there, and it uses the pixels from the clouds and the sky to replace where that little branch was, like that one there, and another one right there. So you can use that feature too. Alright, we've pretty well used the perfect landscape features, so we can move on to the next option, which save or save as comes up, or go to the quick mode or in the expert mode. Right now I think we'll go to the expert mode, and you can see on the right where all the layers have been formed automatically to create that sky and do what we've done. Let's jump now to another feature that's located in the guided section. So I'll click on guided, and it's in the fun edits. Clicking on the fun edits, I get all these options here, and the one we want right now is the peek through overlay. You can see what that does, adding overlays into your picture. So we'll click on that, and we have our options on the right again. We can crop, which we don't need to do now, so we'll scroll down to the overlays. All different kind of leaves and autumn decor and red and pink flowers, all kinds of things here. Let's see, maybe if we choose this, that exposes us to these two options, to top left or top right. Let's choose the top right, and that places these right here. And this can be adjusted also. If you click on that corner, you can make that overlay larger or smaller, and you can move it around too wherever you might want it. I think it's pretty good right there, so we'll hit the green arrow to accept. We can also affect that corner by the hue or the saturation. I think right now it's pretty good. Saturation might be a little bit less, make it a little darker, kind of match the foliage on the left corner there. Let's leave that right about there. Alright, and there's also, let me see here, if we want something like this, we can add it to the lower left. Right there. We've added these, and that kind of puts us like we're standing in a park area here, which helps to locate. And if you like that, you hit the green arrow. And get carried away here, we could even put those same type of growths over here on the right, like that. That takes care of the peek through overlay feature. So when we're done with that, we go to next. Actually, we could have done a vignette or blurred. The blurred feature, oh, I see, I have alright, I just backed up by using the undo feature. I was getting a little careless there. I had these in the wrong place, and that's because I had that corner selected. So now I'll select the left corner, and they'll go in the left side where they're supposed to go, and the right corner, and now we're back where we should be. So if you'll forgive my clumsiness, we'll move on down to vignette. If you like a vignette. I don't think this particular picture would be enhanced much by using a vignette, but it's opinion. So there's what it would look like with a full vignette or moderate. Maybe if we just barely have a tiny hint of one, we can call it good. And you can even choose the color of the vignette, but I often use just black or white, but it's up to the individual. Anyway, moving on now to the next screen brings us to the save and save as again, or quick and expert. We'll go into the expert and see that many more layers over here. Some of the features that were added to 2023 Elements are located under the Enhance option all the way down here, these three items. Your moving photo, moving overlays, moving elements. If we choose the moving elements, again on the right side we have our options, and our goal this time is to give motion to the water. So we choose from sky, background, or manually choose what we want. I'll choose the manual, and then I'll choose the quick select tool. Go over here where the water is, use the left bracket key to reduce the size of my cursor, and select the water as it flows down from there. Holding the Alt key, I can push those marching ants back up to the water where they belong, kind of like that. And I think I'll select the water up here too, and call that pretty close. Maybe hold the Alt key and move this in a little bit there. Alright. When we have the selection made that we want, we have to decide what direction we want that motion. So click that arrow and place the arrow on the water here, downward, and same way here, downward. Now to preview this, use the little play button down here, and this will let us know if there's any changes we need to make before we finalize this. And it takes a little while. It's generating and making an actual video. It's making either an MP4 or a GIF, and you can see the water flowing pretty well. There was an option for speed also. We could have made it faster flowing, and it would appear to be flowing faster, but for the demonstration I think we're fine here. So I think we're ready to export, and you would choose the export button, and as I said, you can export it as an MP4 or a GIF, a GIF, which both are animation files. I have already saved one like that, so I will cancel that out. Not save changes. We'll go in here. There is another one here under the Enhance, and if we choose moving overlays, this is fairly novel here, depending on, there aren't too awful many to choose from, but let's choose bubbles here. It does its thing again once you make the selection, and it's adding these moving elements to this still picture, and it takes a little while. Not quite half done. So Photoshop Elements 2023 does offer quite a bit. These are the fun but yet practical features they've added, and I think you'll enjoy using some or all of them. Okay, this is in the process of applying that overlay now. It's pretty involved. If you were to do this all with manual work, it would take considerably longer. We'll test it with the play button. Okay, now we have a still picture with someone in the foreground blowing bubbles, and we see the motion. Pretty impressive, actually. Okay, I think we'll cancel this out, get out of here. I think I can kill that one out that we worked on. I actually did save one. Motion complete. There we have the added foliage on the upper right corner. We have the added growth on the left corner. We have the motion of the, obviously this is a short video clip that has to keep restart. We added the clouds and the sky and all kinds of goodies here. So that's what we can do with Photoshop Elements 2023. Again, my name is Giuseppe, and thank you for watching this video, and hopefully we'll get into some of the other features at a later time. Thank you, and goodbye.